Hey everybody, my name is Shannon Cassidy and I read the autobiography of Martin Luther King Jr. This book was actually edited by Dr. Claiborne Carson, who is the founding director of the Martin Luther King Jr. Research and Education Institute. So he was actually chosen by Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s estate to publish his documents and various notes, letters, that kind of stuff, to create this book. So it was published in 1998, and I really feel like I gained a lot about history through reading this book, just about things that were going on during these times, and a lot of things that I didn't know about Dr. King as well. I read this entire book, cover to cover, every word on every page, and I really did enjoy reading this book. I learned a lot from it, like I said, just about things that were going on. One thing that I really liked about this book was that at the beginning of each chapter, it would include a small little timeline of things that were going on during this time, of what was going on during Dr. King's life. So basically, it started out in his early years, and it progressed throughout his entire life. And then it would show like different things that were going on. For example, if something was going on with President John F. Kennedy, it was listed in there. And it would just be at the beginning of each chapter, and it would have key events that were going on that would be discussed. Another thing that I really liked was the inclusion of the documents or letters, speeches, quotes by Dr. King. One that was included, for example, was a letter to his wife, Coretta. And it also mentioned her. She had her own chapter. And like I said, I really enjoyed reading it. I would recommend this book to other people. And it was pretty easy to read. It just follows along with his life and things that he experienced. And like I said, it mentions, or it has his own quotes, his own documents, just real life stuff that some things I think we don't really realize that he was going through, things that were going on during this time. For my lesson plan, I looked at the standards, and I actually chose a second grade standard off of the, for social studies, off the Alabama Course of Study. And it was dealing with the identifying national historical figures and celebrations that exemplify fundamental democratic values, including equality, justice, and responsibility for the common good. So the theme I focused on in my lesson plan is Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. and his impact that he had throughout his life. So basically, by looking at this, I want to just teach the students about Dr. King and his important role that he played in history. So the activities that we do would include reading a short passage about him, so that way they could learn more about him. I would also have we would have a class discussion, and we would discuss his I Have a Dream speech and how we celebrate his birthday as a national holiday, that sort of thing, and just really key in on the important role that he played. To finish up the lesson, I would have an activity for the students, and I think it would really just hone in on the I Have a Dream speech by allowing them to complete their own speech, which would start out with, I have a dream that one day, and then let them flow from there of how they feel, how they think society is, and just really get them to find out how they can connect to Dr. King. I really do feel like I learned a lot from reading this book, and I think that it was very beneficial for me, and I really found it enjoyable, as I just was really able to learn more about Dr. King's life. Thanks.